Hey y'all, it's GK here from Black Diamond, and I'm just going to bring y'all a recap of our latest war, which happened to be a potluck spin, where we matched a clan called Grumpy Old Men. This was actually our very first potluck, and it was a lot of fun. I think everyone enjoyed it. So we came away with the victory, barely on percentage, with the very last attack, which was like a 92% 11v11, which gave us that little bit of an edge. It was a bit of an ugly war, mainly up top. They left three of our 11s one-starred, and then over on their side, we left two 11s one-starred. So this is fairly uncommon, I believe, for both clans. But they just had tough bases, and we just had a lot of little simple mistakes that ended up costing us. As far as the stats go, I'll look through and see what they did to our bases. So they did really well on our 10s, as you can see. They went 5 out of 7 on 11v10 dips, which is really impressive. And then they used one Town Hall 11 attack for an 11v11 2-star attempt. And then the rest on down is just 9s, which they cleared. They did, I believe, yep, this one was a 10v10 triple, which is very cool. And then over on their side, we got two 10v11 doubles, both by the same person, Zeus, so that was really impressive. And then going down, we did okay, but on 11v10 dips, we did struggle. I believe we just had 2 or 3 11v10 attempts that went well, but let's see, like this one here, 99%, so I mean some really good hits. And then we were able to grab one 10v10 triple, which I'll show y'all in just a minute. And then we were able to clear their bottom two 9.5s with 10s. So we did have a bit of a defensive advantage. They just threw two 9.5s in instead of Town Hall 10s, just based on who was available. But let's get into some raids here. I'm going to start with a 10v11 hit by Zeus on number 1. And this is an AQ walk mass bowler hit. So he starts his AQ walk down here at 6. Actually starts with a quake. Good use of the quake, getting that eagle, the CC, Town Hall, and all that good stuff. We'll speed this up a little bit. So he gets his AQ down, and she's just going to work up towards the 3 o'clock corner. And then once she gets to about 310, he's gonna drop down a golem, and he's gonna do some funneling up here. He actually already started with these baby drags. This will just help make sure that his bowlers go towards the Town Hall, and they don't stray up towards 12. So then he wall breaks in, and then he just sends in all of his bowlers and his king, and all that good stuff. And once they take out that wizard tower and expo, they're gonna head right into the core. So nice poison down for that Dragloon CC. Good rage there leading up to the core. He did miss on his freeze, which you're gonna see it really hurt him. If he hit the Inferno Tower, this base would have been a lot more wrecked, but his bowlers end up dying out because of that Inferno Tower. But his AQ, luckily enough, comes around and clutches that Town Hall and gives him a nice 57% 2-star on their number 1. And he has low heroes too. I mean, not even max Town Hall 9 heroes. Then he just finishes it off with a couple more percentage archers up here at 12. And we'll just speed through the rest of this. Very nice hit, Zeus. Alright, next up I will show you our 10v10 triple that we had. Oh, let's see if I can scroll here. This was by yours truly. Um, so I saw this base and I looked like I could get an air defense and both heroes with just my heroes. So I use a baby drag up there at about 8 o'clock, and it takes out the cannon and makes a nice funnel. I get the king down, and then I poison on the enemy heroes and then the CC that is about to come out. It was a little bit scary because I ended up not quite taking out the CC all the way, but I got the baby drag down, which is all that really mattered. So I popped the AQ ability to try and quickly take out some of those skeletons from the witch, and in hopes that it would then target the baby drag, which it did. And then she goes down to the rest of the defenses in the enemy CC. So when I start my penta, I go really heavy on loons in this first compartment, just because there's so many defenses there. So I send 3 hounds. I use a couple haste, a freeze, and a rage, all just for this first IT compartment. Not sure if it was completely necessary, but it had to go down in order for the rest of the attack to work. And then I just drop in a 4th hound up to 12, and just keep dropping haste to try and get the loons through the base. I have my 5th and final hound on the 9 o'clock air defense, and then I freeze, and then just haste the rest of the loons in there. And then I have a couple minions for cleanup. As you can see, there's a ton of loons left up, which are going to come down and take out those 3 Teslas. Looks like I have 2 hounds up, but I think the Teslas end up popping 1, which is helpful for cleanup. So I probably could have got away with just doing a quad Lalo on this, but ended up sticking with the 5. And then it's just cleanup, so I'll speed it up through here. And that is that. We did come close on another 10v10. It was like a 95%, just barely ran out of time. So we got close on a couple other attempts, but didn't quite get them. Alright, next up, we're going to go all the way down to number 20. And we're going to look at Cloud9, who, this was actually Zeus on this account. He went perfect this war. He had a 6-pack on the Town Hall 9, and then he went 2 for 2 on 10v11 triples. So that was really awesome. So this was a cleanup attack, so he knew where all the Teslas were, and he knew what was in the CC. So he opted to just bring in his heroes to take out the enemy Archer Queen and 1 air defense, and then he just quad Lalos the rest. Let's put this on 2 times. So he sends his king in, tank the cannon, and tank the Archer Queen. And he was hoping to get that air defense down before the AQ locked on the Hound, but it didn't matter. She ends up taking out the Hound and the air defense anyways. And then he just starts his quad Lalo from 6. Has that nice 2nd Hound, which he put in perfect timing to path over that Tesla farm. Nice rage to get through that. And then he just heals over top the Wizard Tower farm. So this base kind of shows it's meant to be anti-Lalo with the exposed air defenses, but just because you have exposed air defenses does not make it anti-Lalo. You still have to have wacky pathing, and you still have to have more of a central kill zone in the core that won't be tanked by hounds. So he has 2 hounds left up. It looks like he has like 16 or 17 loons. No, he has 3 hounds left up. So he could have just done 3 hounds and done like 25 or 26 loons, which would have been insane. But great hit, Zeus. Alright, next up we're going to have Joe on 22. Joe also had a 6-pack, which was helpful. And he just absolutely wrecks this base. He's coming in with a Shattered Bolalo. He just comes up from 12. He has a couple jumps and a rage for his kill squad. So just making a nice funnel, clearing out all those trash buildings so his bowlers don't walk. And pretty much all of our Town Hall 9 triples this war were air. With the new loons, air is just insane at Town Hall 9. And so I like air. It's really fun to watch, so that's definitely exciting. So he comes in, his king takes out the enemy AQ. His AQ is sniping the air defenses. He already has 2 air defenses down, about to be a third, and his kill squad is still up and pushing forward. So then he puts in his 1 hound for that last air defense, and then just puts surgical loons on all of the exposed defenses. He is fighting a sweeper a little bit, but he just has so many loons up and a hound still tanking that it doesn't really matter at all. So he still has 5 loons in the bag and 5 cleanup wizards. So we'll speed this up a little bit. As you can see, it's wrecked. He could have swagged the heal. That wasn't necessary at all. But overall, just a really, really nice hit. Very smooth. And he has like 12 loons left up. That's crazy. And we'll just speed through the rest of this cleanup. Great attack, Joe. Alright, next up we have Gibby on number 28. So Gibby is actually an he's ex-War Whales. He is semi-retired. He kind of came over to Black Diamond with me and just kind of does arranged wars when he has the time and whatnot. And he is always very good. So his AQ doesn't do what he wants it to, nor his king. They kind of both split off opposite directions, and the way this guy's trash is set up, they don't aggro the queen very quickly. But his AQ will step up and aggro the queen, and just keep an eye on what he does with the Skelly spell. He was kind of worried about getting the enemy AQ, so this is why he ended up bringing this Skelly spell, just to kind of help take it out as soon as his AQ aggroes the enemy AQ. And then, as you can see, he is also bringing Quad Lalo. So the Wizard Tower was briefly on the archers, and then those Skellies just destroyed that enemy queen. So yeah, he starts his Lalo, gets 2 loons in, or 2 hounds in and a bunch of loons. There goes the 3rd hound. Heals over those double Teslas and the Wizard Tower. Brings in his 4th and final hound from 6, just tanking or soaking up all those air traps, tanking all the defenses. Nice rage over top of that core to help those loons push through the Wizard Tower and into the sweeper. Still has 2 loons in the bag, which I think he uses on the Arch Tower or Tesla. Yeah, on the Arch Tower up there. And he has 5 cleanup minions. He opted for cleanup minions because there was a hound CC and he didn't want the hound, going all over the place, sniping his archers or wizards and that kind of thing. So that was very smart. And that's wrecked. Look at all those loons cleaning up. And we will finish the cleanup here. So he had a nice triple here, and then he had a 66% 9v10 2-star, which was helpful in the grand scheme of things since we ended up winning on percent by just a little bit. Alright, so the last attack from this war I'm going to show is Dark Dragon Slayer on number 30. So he has fairly low heroes. He's been upgrading them, but he's been wrecking with either a Bolalo or just a Shatter Golaloon. And he usually uses Earthquakes, and he uses most of the spells on the kill squad to help keep his heroes alive since they are lower. and he just destroys with it. Like, his low heroes don't even matter. So he comes in right at 3 o'clock, and he's aiming to get the Archer Queen, an Air Sweeper, and then 2 air defenses. So then he heals up his kill squad, help keep them pushing forward, and then he has 3 hounds and 12 loons for the backside. I think he ends up starting his Lalo from up at 12. As soon as that air defense goes down, he'll start. Yep, there it goes. So nice surgical loons to start. That hound, getting that red air bomb and a seeking air mine. Perfect pathing on the hounds there. They're tanking all of those air targeting defenses. And then brings in that last hound and a few surgical loons around 7 o'clock to help push to that last air defense quickly. His Archer Queen is still up with the ability. So on an attack like this, just a standard Shattered Goa Loon, that's really impressive to still have your queen alive. And she is great on cleanup when she's not banging on walls, which it looks like she'll do for the remainder of the raid. But that's okay. As you can see, he saved that 1 loon. He saw that the base was wrecked, so he saved that 1 loon for cleanup up at 1 o'clock, which ends up saving him a lot of time. He's just waiting for it to take out that Tesla. It's a good patience there. And then he'll drop it. Looks like that AQ will step around and then beat on more walls. So she was pretty much useless for half the raid. And this will conclude the last raid from this war. I am going to show you guys one more attack from our current war. One of our members, Green Machine, I saw earlier it had a nice 10v10 drag triple. Oh, hold up, Aaron. Let's see if BlueStacks will cooperate. Just has to reboot. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. But overall, it was a fun war. Shout out to Grumpy Old Men. They were a pleasure to work with, very friendly. They had a couple guys come over after the war just to give their congratulations. Honestly, going into the very last attack, we thought we had lost on percent. So we were going for basically a clutch 11v11 triple attempt to try and win the war. But it ended up getting the 91% 1-star, which gave us the victory. Okay, so I think he hit number 8. Let's see. Yep, number 8. Alright, so we'll just run through this raid really quick. So just bringing a double Zap Quake drag attack, and then I assume he'll use a couple his heroes for a 3rd air defense, and then a hound for the 4th air defense. So brings in his heroes here at 9 o'clock, and that AQ will step up to take out that air defense. Already getting started on zapping the air defenses just to get that taken care of early. Drags are slow, so really you want to get everything going as fast as you can. And then I'll pop the AQ ability and then start the drags. So his heroes almost kind of made a nice funnel at 9 o'clock, which will help them push to that Inferno Tower quickly and make sure they don't get distracted. Believe he rages around that air defense to help make sure no drags take damage from that. Maybe. And then he also brought 4 surgical loons, which he's going to use on, I think, a couple of the back-end Archer Towers. But he saves his rage for the 2nd Inferno Tower, which was probably smart. And the drags did get a slight buff in this last update, so they put out damage a little bit faster. Yeah, he puts his loons down here, and look, there's like 3 air bombs that all go off at once that take out all 4 loons, so that was a bit unlucky. But he still wrecks it. He has, looks like 4, 5, 6, 7 drags still up. Well, he just took a couple out over at 3 with those Seeking Air Mines. But doesn't matter because he still has 5 up. Comes through that last Archer Tower and wrecks it. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. This will wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.